Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the 39th Comic Art Live show. I'm Bill Cox, as you know very well, and welcome. Still feels like I'm getting back to reality here in Ohio, slowly but surely. Jeff, yeah, bonus points if you get Nick to, yeah, I got it. Thank you very much. And nice to see you this evening too, West. Glad to have you both on board this evening. So a couple things from now on going forward. Every time I do an update on my own, I'm just going to add it to the Comic Art Live total. I was kind of doing different things with like Comic Art Spotlight when I was doing my solo show, but now that I'm pretty much going to be doing these things all on my own, I'm going to probably just switch it over and just keep numerically increasing the Comic Art Live count to kind of keep it up to pace with the CAF updates that we do and the Dueling Dealer show and whatnot, because it always kind of was lagging, even though I was doing a Tuesday show every single week since we started Comic Art Live. So yeah, that's the way I'm going to handle that. But other than that, hey, we made an offer on a home in Florida yesterday, so fingers crossed that something good happens with that. I can't promise that anything will, but as I was just talking with my guest Ken, who I'll bring on right now, the Florida housing market is insane. I should have kept my house down there for another couple of years, and I would have made a little bit more money than I did when I sold it.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's houses literally are gone in hours.
Exactly. Absolutely. And hey, I don't think I've interviewed anybody with more art on the back wall than you. When you popped into the chat, I was like, man, you've got a better layout than I do. I've got to work on my skills to kind of cram some more artwork up there.
It's kind of new. I've set the upstairs room as an office for my 4C Comics thing. So we do live broadcasts. So I wanted to make sure there was art all over the back wall. So my wife said to me, "That's a lot of stuff up there," and I said, "Don't worry about it. It looks good. Don't worry."
Well, I've been looking for a Captain America shield, and they're almost impossible to find any of the full-size ones anymore, and the ones that are out there are just so darn expensive that I'm holding off.
At a MegaCon probably 6 years ago, and I just had everybody sign it. The first person I had sign it was Stan Lee right in the center. You can't really see it. And then I just every creator I could find, I got to a point now where I'm more selective about who's on it because it's pretty full. But yeah, I've got a bunch of guys on there. I have to keep a list because I don't know anybody who's on there. But it was fun to do.
You need to have like a little index of all the signatures. But Stan is great because Stan always will sign in the center of pretty much anything.
Yeah,
that's kind of our running joke when we're doing auction recaps or whatnot, is seeing how often Stan signed it on somebody's thigh, or and I don't think we've seen him sign it in the middle of a shield yet. But there's bound to be one out there. But now we've seen one.
Yeah,
on the back of your wall.
So
Ken, there's a lot we can talk about tonight. And why don't we start off with what 4C Comics is? Because I didn't know anything about that when I lined you up for the chat, and then when I was checking out your CAF gallery, I saw the 4C thing, and then I thought, oh, okay, so I'm talking with somebody who's helping facilitate sales online too. So why don't you tell us a little bit about 4C, because I don't know anything about it either.
Yeah, 4C. It's a comic company I started. Basically, do everything on Facebook. We are starting to do YouTube now because, I want to try to grow the business a little more. But basically, what we do is we do live claims. So I have artists come on. We were doing shows on Thursday. We're going to switch to Monday. It's getting a little crowded on Thursdays, so Monday's a little bit of a lighter day. So when we have an artist on, we offer up kind of like quick sketches, usually head sketches or something like that, something they can do within 30 minutes or so, and the first person to make a claim gets the sketch. So they get to request what they want, and the artist draws it right there, and we just keep the conversation going. We've had people on for 5-6 hours. I just had Bill Morrison on Saturday. He did all color sketches, and he was at over 5 hours, and basically I gave in. I was like, all right, that's enough. I'm done. I can't do anymore. But yeah, I mean, that's the way basically I do commissions on this page and everything like that. I started it because I wanted to offer more affordable things out there for people, and I wanted people to have more of a con experience. So that's why we do the live claims, and it really goes well, and the creators like it because they get to sketch and talk, and engage, and we do basically like an interview as we're sketching, and it's a lot of fun. So. Yeah, 4C Comics on Facebook, if you guys want to check it out. There's actually a show going on right now. I have Rodney Ramos on right now. I have a couple guys. Jeff Dunn is a friend of mine. He's kind of like a co-owner with me.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's on there handling things for me right now with Mike Benham. So we're having fun. We had Michael Golden on earlier today. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And we're starting to get bigger name creators. We're starting to get a reputation for taking care of people, and yeah, it's been going well.
Very cool. Yeah, you definitely need to get yourself on YouTube. I can just tell you from the chat experience between Facebook and YouTube, YouTube definitely facilitates conversations better than Facebook does. And I don't know, it just in general, I think it works a little bit better than Facebook. Facebook was fine. I mean, I think we started out there before we did YouTube, but then we did both, and then when we started doing the Dueling Dealer Show, we really started steering everybody over to YouTube, just because YouTube's a little bit faster. It's about a 3-second delay, whereas Facebook can be up to a 12 to 16 second delay on the stream part of it. So if there's some kind of we're like a claim sale, you figure everybody's going to want to be on the faster one. And so if you do actually put it on YouTube, you're going to have to let people know that, because the people on YouTube will be the ones claiming all the art, because the people on Facebook won't even know that a claim was available.
Right, exactly. I mean, and that's exactly what was happening. I was running the YouTube channel, but then people were getting claims. So many people were getting claims all the time. And asking me what was going on with that, and it was because they were on YouTube and they were getting the faster connection than people on Facebook.
Right.
So we're starting to try to just do only YouTube now to try to get the subscribers up, help with the algorithm and things like that.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. I mean, we're giving it a shot. So
right.
Well, I've been doing it since March, so
nothing wrong with that. No, like I said, send me announcements when you do it. I'm happy to run announcements for that kind of thing. It's always fun, and that's there's so many groups out there that are doing similar things, with sketch opportunities with artists. I mean, it's fantastic. I mean, that so many people stepped up to allow the fans to get art from artists and to give the artists an opportunity to keep making money until the cons come back. So I think it's been fun. And we were just talking the other day that I think the next couple of years are going to be really interesting as far as evolving this side of the hobby, because I think we haven't really figured it all out. I mean, we've all got really good things going on, but I think that there's a lot of room for more ingenuity and creativity in the ways we approach selling art in a live format. And I think the sky's the limit, really, for the next couple of years will be really telling. I think we'll see a lot more online cons and that sort of thing, where people just don't want to go back to the in-person stuff, and they'll be able to manage their own. I mean, like the CAF, Comic Art Live through Comic Art Fans it just keeps getting bigger all the time, and I can't see how that's ever going to really slow down.
Yeah, the first thing I ever did was I called it SketchCon, and I had people on in like 2-hour blocks. So we're actually doing SketchCon 2 this Sunday, and but that's going to be more like a marathon, because what happened was I had Ariel Diaz on one day, and she stayed on for about 4 hours. Then the next week I had David Williams on. He stayed on for about 4.5 hours. And then I had Bill Morrison on. Bill went over almost 6. So I made a joke like, I should get all you guys on and just see who can sketch the longest. And they were all like, okay. So this Sunday at noon, we're going to have Ariel Diaz, Larry Stroman, David Williams, Alex Rigel, Javier Avila, Craig Young. And they're going to sketch until one of their arms falls off. So
yes, we'll definitely write up an announcement for that.
I'll get that for sure. Yeah.
But yeah, that's what we found with the drink and draws that we've done online and helped Hero do as well. The artists really like just hanging out with each other and drawing. It's a unique opportunity for them to do it in a format like that. And yeah, anything that keeps the artist happy and drawing for a few hours is great.
Yeah, and we'd love to sketch guys together because they like to banter. We've had people just pop on. I was doing a sketch one night. I don't remember. I think it was David Williams, and Ken Lashley just asked if he could come on. And he popped on for an hour and did a sketch, and so we have those kind of things happen sometimes. So it's fun, when we do surprise things like that.
Sure. Well, yeah, I'm going to start following that. I didn't even know anything about 4C until I hit your Kafka. All right, so we were talking a little bit about your past. So why don't we usually start these shows off talking about your origin stories in the hobby, how you got started collecting original comic book artwork. So wherever you'd like to start, let me know. You were talking about being a sports rep at one point, and you seem to have a very, very big collectibles past.
Yeah, I was a sports marketing agent for about 25 years. I used to work with professional athletes. If anybody ever asks me who did I work with, I usually say it's easier for you to name a player than for me to tell you who I worked with, because I probably worked with hundreds of players. And so I used to represent guys. I represented DeMarcus Ware from the Dallas Cowboys, and so I had a lot of memorabilia and things like that. And then what happened was a book came out called Operation Bullpen in the early 2000s, which was based on an FBI investigation about fraudulent autographs in the sports memorabilia industry. And in the book, they said things like, 80% of autographs were fake, which is ridiculous because that would be like counterfeiting a nickel. There's plenty of autographs out there. If you want to say 80% of Babe Ruth's are fake, I'll give you that. But I'm sure 80% of Jimmy Pearsall stuff is not fake.
Right.
But it hurt the industry anyway. And then it got to a point where the players were making so much money that you couldn't pay them enough, and they weren't worth. They would want more money for their signature than their signature was worth. So the industry, it was meteoric the way it went, and it crashed quick. So I got out of it. I stopped doing it, and then I went to my daughter wanted to start reading, and I took her. I used to collect comic books when I was younger, and I took her to a comic book store, and I'm a Star Wars fan, and there was Star Wars #1 was just coming out. This is maybe 7 or 8 years ago when they reviewed the Star Wars.
Yep.
I'm like, I'm going to grab that. And next thing I know, I'm subscribing to 25 books, and I'm right back into it the way I was. And then Tony Daniel did an appearance at a comic book store, and I just decided I was going to get a sketch from him. And I don't know if I put that on the list or not, the Tony Daniel piece, the Batman Who Laughs. But that was the first sketch I ever got. And I kind of opened up my eyes to, well, this is kind of like sports autographs in a different way, because it's a sketch from a creator. But it's pen in hand doing something, just like when I would get autographs with the sports thing, and just kind of snowballs from there. And I started collecting art, and it's been a lot of fun. I have things in my collection. I was just talking to somebody. I have things in my collection that I never thought I'd have. And there's the Tony. That's the first piece I ever got was a Tony Daniel piece. That was at a bookstore down here. Yeah. And the Batman Who Laughs was a brand new character. I think it was only the first or second book that was out, the Dark Knight's Metal series. When I got that, I had no idea how popular the character was going to be at the time, but I just thought he looked cool. And the thought of Batman with the Joker, mentality drives me crazy sometimes, thinking about the possibilities with that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Jeff Wedding said, "Will Tom Cruise play Ken Carson in a sketch collector movie?" Maybe.
But Jeff Dunn, like I said, my partner Jeff Dunn, he always says we're the Jerry Maguires of the sketch claim thing, because we're little guys who are trying to make it. So.
Oh yeah, no, I totally get it. Well, it sounds like you've done really well.
We're doing well. I can't complain. We're going to do our first show, MegaCon, in Orlando in August.
Mm-hmm.
The first time we set up at a show, so that'll be another facet that we're going to take a look at, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, why not? I was just emailed by somebody from MegaCon about doing a panel.
Oh, excellent!
I don't know if I can get down there, but if this house goes through, that's about, I think we put like a 45-day window on closing and everything, so that would actually fall right in line with going to MegaCon. So I might be down there, and at the end of August, we'll see.
Excellent. Yeah, that'd be fun.
So after the first sketch, then, how did that lead you on to getting more sketches, or your connection with Anthony, like we were talking about earlier as well?
Yeah, Anthony I just kind of hooked up with last year. So after that, I just started to take my daughter to cons, and then just started getting sketches from guys. And the funny thing was that I've been out of the comic book collecting for so long. I only knew a few names. Like a Mark Tex. I was a big Mark Texeira fan. when I was growing up. So whenever I saw him, I always wanted to try to get something from him. Of course, Jim Lee. But a lot of the guys weren't even on my radar, and I just had to do research as I saw things coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got into the Facebook group Sketch Prices, where people post their stuff and how much they pay for it. And I could spend hours on there sometimes, looking through people's stuff and just doing research. Whenever somebody would pop up in a show, I'd do research on there to see what the prices were, what kind of art they have, and just basically like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just snowball from there.
So you run this sketch show, and your focus as a collector is also on sketches and commissions, then, right?
Yeah. And I'm more of a pinup kind of guy. I'm not really into sequential pages or published pages, unless it's a cover or splash or something like that. I kind of like, when I look at a picture, I want to see one thing. I don't want to look at a panel page and try to figure out what's going on with the story, especially now because they don't have any word balloons or anything like that. So I have very few pieces like that. I basically just, like I say, collect pinups and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and you had some sketch covers, I think, in your calf gallery as well.
Sketch covers, yeah. I'm actually getting away from the sketch covers. I like bigger, 11 by 17, and I like bigger art. I think it's because my eyes are so bad. I want to see things.
Well, it's only going to get worse. I mean, my bifocals prescription keeps getting worse and worse every year. So sadly, yeah.
Yeah, you can. If I'm looking like this, I'm using my bifocals.
I know. I have decided. I got these about a year ago, and I really I can't do bifocals and work in front of the computer all day anymore, because it's true. I'm always going like that. But when I get lazy, I get like that, and then everything's fuzzy. Yep. So you need to stay. So I'm going to get 2 pairs this next time, and I'm just going to get and just split it up, or maybe get one like this and then one where they're for sitting in front of 2 foot in front of a monitor, because I am tired of tipping my head all day long.
Yeah, and you do a lot of shows, so I can imagine. Monitor all day.
Yeah, no,
it's just a lot.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty much glued to this chair from sun up until sundown.
Yeah.
But so you're going to be setting up at the show. So what are you going to do while you're there? I mean, you don't really have product to sell. So
no, I'm bringing Bill Morrison.
Okay, cool.
Bill Morrison, Larry Stroman, Javier Avila, and Alex Rigel. So I'll have 4 guys there. Bill hasn't been announced yet. I don't know what they're waiting for. They said they were going to announce him today in the last round of comic creators, but they didn't. I don't think they announced anybody. But yeah, Bill's going to be there, and Larry will be there. Yeah, so we're bringing 4 guys down. We're going to have a little booth area. So yeah, it should be fun. I'm really looking forward to it.
No, that sounds awesome. I did see. I think you said that you technically rep a few artists as well as.
Yeah.
No, Bill's a good guy though. Bill was always out at the Big Wow Comic Fest when I owned that with Morger and Cho and whatnot, and he was always a lot of fun, and everybody loved him. He was just somebody that everybody wanted to talk to at the show.
And insanely talented. I mean, he can draw anything. I mean, he can, whether it be The Simpsons or Golden Age Batman, he's just phenomenal. He says he's a great mimic. So he can, if you show him a Dick Sprang piece, he can draw like Dick Sprang. If you show him something, he can draw like that. So yeah, he's pretty amazing. He's a great guy too. He's a sweetheart. I mean, he can't do enough for you.
No, I agree. I don't own anything by Bill, but I've always, one of these days I'm going to pick something up. I mean, I love it. The work he's done on The Simpsons, and he's done so much stuff there. And but like you said, he's good at pretty much any style, and he can adapt himself really well. Yeah,
he's amazing. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. I mean, it'll be, like I said, the first time we're ever doing a show. I hope we're prepared. I've been working on it for about 4 months now, trying to make sure I have all my ducks in a row. I don't know what else I can do. We're just waiting for the show now to happen.
Exactly. Well, once you sit down behind the table, everything, you'll be able to relax, and then it's all fun and business at that point.
Yep. Exactly.
Very, very cool. So you had mentioned that you had done a lot of trading with Anthony to get get your collection started. Is it?
Yeah. What happened was, I'm from New Jersey, but I live in Florida. But I had to go up to Jersey for some family issues, so I spent about 3 months up there. And I I knew Anthony was up there. I'd never been to his spot, so I drove up to Menaki, and I went to Anthony's place, and it's overwhelming how much stuff he has. It really is. He's just got a tremendous amount of stuff. I mean, you could spend days in there looking through stuff. So I picked up a couple pieces, and when I was walking out, there was a barrel full of bats. And I looked at Anthony. I said, "Well, what's with the bats?" He goes, "Well, I do sports memorabilia too." I was like, "Oh, really?" Well, up in Jersey, I had things in a basement that were sitting in boxes for years that I hadn't even touched. And I ended up going up to Anthony's probably 7 or 8 times, just trading him stuff. And a lot of the amazing things that you're going to see in my collection came from those trades with Anthony. And he was great about it. He's always done really well. Very fair, I think, when it comes to trading. And he has some great stuff. I'm glad to know him, and I consider him a friend. And I love watching him on Dueling Dealers on Wednesday. I root for him every week.
Well, somebody's got to. But no, actually, I know a lot of people that root for Anthony. He's trying. He's definitely trying. Mike has an edge, unfortunately. He just has he has more access to, I don't know, just slightly better pieces, and so it puts Anthony at a disadvantage. But Anthony, we were just looking at the numbers. I mean, Anthony's done incredibly well. I think he's closing in on like $400,000 in sales, and Mike's closing in on 500. So even though Mike keeps winning, it's not like Anthony's not doing great. They're both doing really well. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, and he's I know he's trying to buy stuff because I've been helping him facilitate sale, where he buys things from collectors to put on the show. So I think he's finding his way that way, where he's pulling stuff out of the inventory. He's finding things and offering them for the first time where people can see them. So yeah, he's going to figure it out. And he told me, he said he loves to do it. He said it doesn't matter. He said it's a win-win no matter what. Everyone's winning at the end of the day because everyone's making money. So that's what matters.
Yep. No, I completely agree. I still have to shoot all tomorrow's memes.
Yeah, exactly.
But all right. So you've done a lot of trading, but you've also got, like I said, I think you primarily have commissions in your calf gallery. I think when I was looking at the counts, it was, there you go, 60 commissions and to 21 interior pages. So by and large, now most of those pickups, were they at conventions or did you, store signings? What would you say when you weren't trading for those pieces? Where were you picking most of them up?
Most of the stuff I was trying to get in person. But when I see somebody selling something, either on Comic Art Fans or a Facebook or something, if it's a good deal, I'm all over it. And I do like to trade too. So I tend to get bored of things, So I'll have a piece in my collection that I'll love, and then 6 months later, I look at it and I go, well, you know what? I'd rather have this piece than that piece, and I'll either sell it or trade it for it. And I've been doing it even when I was doing the sports thing. I would do the same thing. I was always trading and selling things. It was my collection was fluid, always moving. There are certain things that I think I would never sell or never get rid of, but I've said that before and gotten rid of it soon. So I tend not to say that anymore.
No, well, that's I could say I don't think anybody's ever said that to me. As far as like they've got a 6 to 12 month. So there has to be some pieces in your collection that you would never let go, right? Yes. But there are some transient pieces that you wanted, and then you're willing to just kind of move it on to somebody else or something better.
I always think to myself, if I have a piece in my collection, let's say I see a piece that I really like, if I think I can trade a piece or sell a piece to get the other piece that I want, I just got to evaluate it in my head. And I say, would I rather have that than that? If I could trade that for that, would I do it? And if the answer is yes, then I do it. And I've upgraded pieces. I've gone from headshots to torsos, or something like that. A smaller piece to a bigger piece with the same. Like Mark Texera, I had a torso sketch for the longest time, and I would have never thought I would sell it. And then somebody offered me the piece that's right here, this painted piece.
The Ghost Rider.
That piece had to go.
Right. Well, that's an upgrade.
That's an upgrade. Yep. I had a John Byrne piece I got from Anthony. It was a Batman on a comic art board.
Mhm.
And then I saw. I like to collect those big IDW books and
Oh
those
yeah.
artists and things.
Mhm.
And somebody was selling one of those Marvel Select artist editions with the sketch in it.
Yeah.
And,
Oh yeah. So yeah,
yeah.
I know those. Yeah.
So I was like, oh, Batman's got to go, and I bought that. So just like I said, it's fluid. It's fluid. I try to upgrade. I'm at a point now where I'm trying to collect specific artists over just getting anything. At first, when I first started collecting, I was collecting characters.
Mhm.
Now I'm collecting artists.
Now, is your goal to get one good representative piece from each of them, or more than one for certain artists? I mean, what's your
I think I would like a representative piece of the best guys I could possibly get.
Mhm.
I just got a Kirby piece from Anthony. So now I have a Kirby. I mean, it's not the greatest piece in the world. I mean, some people look at it and probably go, wow, well, that's shit. But it's a Kirby piece to me. I'm not going to,
I just got a Kirby piece from Anthony as well. So, and that was my first. So there you go. We got Anthony to thank for our first Kirby's.
Exactly. And the best thing about the piece is that on the back of it, it's signed by Jack Kirby and it has his address and his phone number.
Mm-hmm.
On the back of it. I think that's better than the sketch in ways. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing now. I'm collecting artists more than I am. But I of course the character means something too.
Right. No, that's my approach right now too. Is I'm looking at getting good examples from as many artists as I can, or that I want to get. Primarily from the 70s and 80s. But that's I don't know. I've done a few. My collecting in a few different ways over the years, where it was by title or character, and now I'm definitely on that focus of picking up artists because I don't know, I just appreciate the art in a different way. Like I never would have wanted something by Infantino, right? But now it's like, yeah, I really want to have a good example by him, and the same on several other artists that I probably would never have collected 15 years ago, but I look at it now and yeah, there's a lot of people who I want to have as part of my collection.
Yeah, exactly.
So why don't we look at a little bit of artwork here?
Sure.
Sent me a few scans, so I don't think I've got these ordered in any particular way. So we'll just show them off, and you can talk.
I don't think I sent it to you in any particular order either.
All right.
Yeah, this is
nice trippy.
I just got this not too long ago. I got this from Berkey, Marina Man. I was looking for a Herb Trimpe piece. I actually had a Herb. There's a little bit of a story behind it. I actually I found a guy who was selling a Herb Trimpe Wolverine piece, and I bought it, and he shipped it to me. And when I got it, it kind of looked a little off, like there was something maybe not right about it. So I saw that Herb Trimpe's nephew had posted something on Facebook. And so I reached out to him and I said, hey, listen, could you maybe just look at this and tell me what you think of it? And he got back to me and said, yeah, it looks fine. And then maybe half an hour, and I was like, okay, great. I felt so much better. I got a Herb Trimpe Wolverine. And then a little while later, maybe a half an hour later, he got back to me and said he showed it to Herb's widow, and she said that 100% it was not legit. And she pointed out a myriad of things that were wrong with it. Now the guy I got it from, he let me give it back to him, but then I didn't have a Trimpe, and it was killing me. And then one day I was on a Ramita Man's site and I saw this piece, and I had to have it. And I think I actually traded stuff for it mostly. I mean, I think I paid a little bit, but I think I traded stuff for it. I don't remember what I traded, but it's a recreation of the back cover to I think Marvel Fanfare. But it's a great piece. I think it's 11 by 17. It's big. It's beautiful. I just love it so much.
No, it's a beautiful pickup. I think I actually saw that at Mike's place. So no, really nice piece by Trimpe.
Yeah, that's probably one of my favorites of all my collection. I'm a big Hulk fan. When I first started reading comic books, my dad used to. He used to know a guy who owned a 5 and Dime in Lakewood, New Jersey. And he used to bring me home coverless copies of comic books, because back then when the comics didn't sell, they would just tear the covers off and send them back for credit. So he always bring me home coverless copies of the Hulk. I probably had hundreds of them over the years. And that was like my comic when I was growing up. And then Spider-Man and the Amazing Friends came out on TV.
Mm-hmm.
And Iceman was my guy. I loved Iceman, and that got me into the X-Men. And you'll see a few Iceman pieces in there because I'm just such a huge Iceman fan. So yeah, it just that's basically the story of that. So it started out with the Hulk, it evolved into Iceman, and now I don't know where the hell it is, but it's out there somewhere.
So, not to interrupt, but how is your partner doing this evening?
He's not texting me, so I guess they're doing okay. I see Rodney's talking. I got it on the screen right here. I'm just peeking out of the corner of my eye. Everything's going well. He knows what he's doing. He's been doing it. He's been doing it with me for months. So no worries.
Awesome. All right. Well, here is a familiar piece by Bill Morrison.
Yeah. I just started working with Bill not too long ago. He actually asked me to handle his commissions for him. So I do all his commission work for him. We did a commission list, and this is one of the pieces that he did. And, he did it as a sample to show what a 2-character sketch would look like. And I said, I'll take it. So I bought it and have that piece. And I think it's iconic. I mean, The Simpsons and Homer choking Bart. It's just a great piece. I love it.
Yeah. Now that's why I really want to get a Simpsons piece by Bill. One day.
Yeah. Well, just let me know.
Right. While you're handling all his commissions.
Yeah.
All right, and here's a nice one as well.
This was my first cover. This I got from Anthony. This was the first when I first did the sports memorabilia trade with Anthony. This was the piece that I got, and I was giddy. I mean, I can remember driving home, down at the Jersey Turnpike, and I was just giddy that I actually owned a cover. I never thought in my collecting career. I thought a cover was unattainable. It was just something it was a pipe dream. I would never own one. And I actually had this book too. That was the other thing. On a cover of something that I'm familiar with. This is by Butch Geis. I just love it. I mean, it's just a great piece, and like I said, it was my first cover and part of the first deal I ever did with Anthony.
No, that's a beauty. I definitely, I love Butch's work, so that one's very nice. And it was a variant cover, right? I think
variant cover, yeah, and just the detail. I mean, it's hard to see in the scan, but the detail in the background with the trees and everything, it's just it's really, really well done.
Very true. And as Marcus points out, Morrison is on CAF.
He is. Yeah,
he's
quite a collector. He's got some amazing pieces.
He really does. Yeah, without question.
He's a Batman fan. He's got Dick Sprang. He's got a page from I can't even remember, but it's an old page, probably from the 40s. A Batman page. He's really got amazing stuff. You should get him on and show his stuff. He's got.
I should. No, I've really wanted to do more interviews with artists who are also collectors. We had Scott Williams on and Jimmy Palmiotti in the last 45 days, and those were really fun conversations. And the artists have just a different perspective on collecting original art, and in a way, but they're just like but they are just like us at the same time. But they seem to have really great pieces that are made me very envious.
Yeah, and he's got some really just unique stuff. He's got it's a comic book cover that was on a wall in a movie. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't a real comic. It wasn't something that was published, but it was in a movie. You have to hear the story from him. But he's got some, because he was in Hollywood show business.
Right.
He had different kind of connections and has a different way of collecting. I'll talk to him. He'd probably do it. He would love to. He loves to talk about his collecting and stuff like that.
All right, I'll let you ask him.
I will.
Tell him I'd love to do it, because I'm definitely going to be mixing things up going forward. I've got a couple of weeks of things that I've already planned out.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely kind of rethinking my approach to doing the shows the way I'm doing them, and I kind of think I'd like to do a little bit more, but just different times. Try to fit myself into other people's schedules, and because not Europeans cannot do a 9 p.m. Eastern show. So I'm thinking of doing a few afternoon blocks of maybe just an hour, and people like you and I would watch them in the evening. Then we can watch the rerun. They don't have to watch it live. But at least I can get them done. And
Right.
Same things with the creators. If I have to do it on an off day, I'd rather find a way to get them in rather than not. So don't make people fit my schedule. Let me fit their schedule, and then I can rebroadcast it.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why I'm doing that SketchCon on Sunday at noon, because I do get a lot of European guys who say, because I usually start the show around 7 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And they still say it's too late for them. It's midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning for them to do the live sketch claim. So part of my reasoning behind doing it this Sunday was for that, for some of the European guys to be able to get on and make a claim without having to stay up late on a work day or work week.
Right. Well, definitely, like I say, do not forget. Get me all the information. Because I've got my CAF update that I do on Friday, and it's going to become more and more news oriented as I evolve it. But that would be something that I'd want to talk about to let people know what's going on that weekend.
Cool. Definitely will.
All right, let's look at some more artwork here. This is on the wall behind you.
Yeah. Again, this is another one from Anthony. I actually had a George Perez did a commission offering, and I got a Wonder Woman sketch cover. And although it was nice and I liked it, I was at Anthony's and I saw this piece, and it was one of those things where I'm more of a Marvel guy than I am a DC guy. The only DC comic I ever really read is Batman and Detective.
Mm-hmm.
So when I saw this and I saw the pencil work, it was like nothing I had ever seen by George Perez. So yeah, I had to have it, and I sold my Wonder Woman to get it. So it's a gorgeous piece. I mean, again, the scan does it no justice. To see this thing in person is just amazing. The hash work he does, and it's just an amazing piece.
Now that's done in like marker and a tonal.
Yeah, tonal pencil, and yeah. It's really nice.
I couldn't make out the detail on the scan, but so it's just marker and then penciled all the shading.
Yep, exactly.
Beautiful. That's not normal for George at all.
No. And it would be something if I hadn't seen it at Anthony's, I'd probably be like, "Is that really George Perez?" But listen, Anthony certainly isn't going to sell something that is not legitimate. So, because I wasn't really familiar with George Perez's stuff, to be honest, it wasn't something that I was familiar with. But I was getting into the collecting of the artist at that point, and I thought that was a good representation of. It might be a character that George Perez isn't known for, but I got it because of the way it's drawn more than anything else.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I might have only seen one or two other pieces like that, and there's a lot of George Perez head sketches out there, as you know, and I don't think I've ever seen him. Not in person, use pencils on anything. I probably have 5 Perez head sketches in my portfolios, and all of them are only marker.
Right.
So Daryl did want to know that. Do you read anything other than Batman and Detective from DC, or is it just?
No, I try. Like I said, I only read Marvel when I was growing up. I did start reading some Image when Image first came out, but I didn't read Marvel, and I didn't read any DC stuff until maybe 6 or 7 years ago. Somebody had told me about the Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo Batman run. So I picked up the graphic novels, and I thought they were just fantastic. And that was the catalyst where I started just grabbing as many Batman graphic novels as I probably have 75 of them, different graphic novels and things like that. And then I jumped into the book. I asked my comic book guy, I said, what's a good jumping in point? And they had just did the Rebirth at the time. So I jumped in there, and it was fun. I did try reading Superman. I'm not into cosmic characters that much. I'm more of a ground level guy. Guys, the hack and slash kind of guys, not the shooting lightning bolts out of their eyes. So I wasn't big into this Superman. Just thought it was too much.
I like Cyclops. He kind of shoots lasers out of his eyes.
Yeah.
But he's not an alien, though.
He's not an alien, no, and he's beatable. My issue with Superman is like, who the hell can beat Superman? I mean, you wrote a character who is basically unbeatable. I mean, I know he's been beaten, of course. We all know that. But I remember when the Death of Superman came out. I remember waiting online for that. But there was only Superman book I probably ever bought in my life was the Death of Superman book. I only bought it for the hype.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I probably flipped them, 2 months later when they announced he was coming back to life. That was,
Yeah,
Death
it was
of
rubbish. Well, Daryl says Batman can beat him. I was going to say the Hulk could beat him.
Yeah, exactly. I think that would be a good fight.
It would be.
Yeah. Depending on which Hulk it is, there's so many iterations of the Hulk.
Yeah, now there is.
Yeah.
I like Trimpy's Hulk the best. So.
Yeah, me too. That's why I just love that piece.
All right, here's another artwork.
Yeah, this was another pickup from Anthony. I mean, I know who I can't think of the name of the artist. Ron Lim.
Yeah.
Ron Lim, but I wasn't familiar with Jerry Pasco at the time. And the funny thing is, I just had Jerry Pasco on the 4C show about a month ago. He's a great guy. But this piece is probably the one piece in my calf gallery that gets the most people email me about this or talk about this piece the most. The ink work on this is just fantastic. And Jerry actually sent me a picture of the pencils that he had scanned before they did the inks on it. But it's just an amazing piece. I'm waiting for Marvel to call me up and tell me they want to make this into a cover. But
that is every collector's dream.
Someday I'm hoping to get that phone call about one of my pieces. But yeah, this piece is just amazing piece. And like I said, it was sitting at Anthony's and I grabbed it. I was like, yeah, I gotta have this piece.
There you go, and not the Ron Lim. Hi, Ron. Nice to hear from you this evening. Sorry, I'm clicking on too many chats popping in here.
Yeah, I hear you.
But yeah, everybody loves this piece. But see, that's why you get a lot of comments from it. Too. What's that?
I had it digitally colored by Dennis Lehman, and he made it look like a comic book cover. I don't know if I have that on my calf gallery or not, but if you go on my calf, I think I do. If you go on my calf gallery, you might be able to see the color version. It's amazing.
Oh, and Tim was asking who inked it. That was
James Pasco.
James Pasco, right?
Yep.
Well, you should feature a few more pieces in your calf gallery. That's probably why this one gets a lot, because it's the one thing they see when they hop into your calf, and but you only have one piece of art featured, and it's this one. You could your premium. You can feature up to 12 if you want.
Okay, I just did the premium maybe 6 months ago, and I haven't really dug into all the features of it yet. I was playing around with it a couple of days ago when I was posting some stuff that I was maybe looking to sell. So yeah, I should definitely do that. I didn't even realize that with the premium I could do more, so I should do that for sure.
Yeah, well, if you have any questions, let me know, because as I always tell everybody, I write the worst instructions. So if there's anything, and that's one of the things I'm going to add to that calf update is I'm going to do one thing every week where I talk about a feature on calf people probably aren't using to the fullest. So just to kind of move a few things along and get everybody more involved with stuff that Maureen and I have spent a lot of time programming.
For me, the thing that draws me to the calf site is it's an archive for me more than for anybody else. That's the way I look at it. So whenever I get a new piece of art, I make sure I load it on the site, and because you can put the data in there privately of how much you paid for it and everything like that. So it helps me to keep a track of what I have in my collection, and it's a digital gallery for myself. And if somebody comments or likes something, that's just a bonus for me. That's how I kind of look at that. But I'm on there every day. I'm always looking for stuff to buy, looking for stuff to trade. I finally figured out how to sign up for the wish list. So I get a lot of wish list notifications.
Yes.
Yeah.
So. No, that is the best thing we've done in the last. Well, it was about a year and a half ago when we rolled that out. But just the as it happens alerts on there since your premium is. Yep. That's the best thing. Because I set it up so I get a broad spectrum of them, even on some things I probably wouldn't want to follow, but I check them all out just because it's so neat to see it working. And I celebrate. So many dealers go, man, I'm doing a great job. I sell artwork within 5 minutes of posting it to my website, and they don't know that we're pushing out the leads so quickly to everybody that it's not really them. It's CAF doing that wish list email.
Yeah.
So Yeah, Mike has told me that so many times. Like, Bill, I'm doing a great job. I just sold all these Frank Whiteley pieces, within 10 minutes of posting them. And I'm just like, no, Mike, that was Calf selling all that artwork for you. So what are you gonna do?
Exactly.
But yeah, that was a beautiful Ron Lynn piece, though. I mean, yeah, very, very nice. Now this one I think I've seen colored.
Yeah, I had it colored digitally. And actually, Dennis did it. He did it for me. I think it was my birthday. He just pulled it off my calf gallery, and he colored. I woke up one morning, he had colored it. So that was fun. I love to have him do digital colors. If anybody's not using Dennis for anything, or any digital artist, I mean, it's a way of not touching the artwork, but still getting a full rendered representation of what you have. If you want to see what it would look like in color. But yeah, this is a great piece. I actually saw one for sale on CAF with Thor.
Oh, really?
Oh man, that might be a nice companion piece for this. Yeah, I just saw it not too long ago. But it looks almost like the same thing, except it's got Thor instead of the thing.
And Rick Welch said this is Dueling Dealers, advertising marketing material. He says header material that we always put that thing versus the Hulk in some form or fashion as our PR piece.
Oh, so, yeah, well, have at it. I'll get a good scan for you if you want.
Yeah, please do. That'd be fun.
Yeah, and I got it from Anthony, so.
There you go. No, that's awesome.
I just realized I didn't realize I forgot all about that it's the Hulk and the thing with those two.
No, as soon as I saw it, I was poking around. I saw the color piece too, and I thought, yeah, I was going to ask you if I could use it.
There you go.
So if you can give me a better scan, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I just got a new scanner, so I'll take a good scan of it and send it to you.
Cool. Thank you very much. All right, we're gonna look at some more Hulk artwork here.
Yeah, this I got from Stephen Butler. I was talking to Stephen about doing a Hulk piece, and then him and I got into a conversation about Herb Trimpe and how much we both loved him. And he kind of went, I didn't realize he was going to do all of this. I thought he was just going to do a Hulk piece. He said, but he kind of felt inspired by it. If you see at the bottom, it says, Herb Trimpe, we love you. So he said he wanted to do, he basically made it into a Herb Trimpe tribute piece all the way around by throwing in all those head sketches of all the people that the Hulk had to deal with in his life. So yeah, it's a great piece. And I think Steven actually has this as a print that he uses when he goes to shows and stuff like that.
No, I really like this one a lot. I've been a big fan of Stephen Butler's work for a long time. I like his style, the detail he puts in his work, and this is a beauty.
He's so easy to deal with too. I mean, he works with you, what you want. He works with you with a price, and he's quick, gets things out to you pretty quickly. He's a great guy. If anybody doesn't have a Stephen Butler, you should definitely reach out and see what you can get from him.
Now, does he have his own? Because I've never looked him up
Facebook,
online.
You can find him on Facebook. That's how I contacted him the first time. I just sent him a message on Facebook.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, there you heard it, everybody. I should link that into the show description afterwards.
There you go.
And I didn't get your calf gallery in the show description, but I did put it into the chat a little bit ago. I'll stick it in there again for anybody who's been joined us a little late. Just in case. There we go.
I think it's pretty updated too. I try to keep up with it as much as possible, taking things out, putting things in.
Mm-hmm.
With anything I've gotten new, I try to keep it as updated as possible.
Well, everybody liked that piece. That's the one that should be your most commented piece now.
There you
go. All right. So let's see. This is Rubenstein, right?
Yeah. The thing that actually propelled me into doing the 4C thing was I met John Jesperson and Doug Mankey at MegaCon a few years back, and got to really be friendly with John. And then he did New York Comic Con, and he did those mystery envelopes where he put a piece of art in an envelope and sold them for whatever $100 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So when he came back, I asked him how it went, and he said that New York Comic Con was so busy he only sold like 3 or 4 of them because he couldn't even get them out from under the table. So I asked him if I could sell them on sell them, and he said sure. So I put them up for sale, and we sold them out, all 50 of them. So
Wow.
then we did it again. This time we kind of upgraded it with all kinds of art prelims and things like that, and we sold that out. So then I thought that was going to be my way to get into the comic book, because when I was in the sports memorabilia business, that's how I broke in. I kind of just nudged my way in and made a business out of it. So I've been trying to do that with the comic book industry, and it hasn't been as easy. So I thought the mystery comic envelopes were going to be my thing. So I reached out to Joe Rubenstein to do a mystery comic envelope, and we did, and it went pretty well. And at the end of it, I wanted to get a sketch of Wolverine #1. But then I was thinking maybe I want a #2, maybe I want a 3. So I said to Joe, I said, would you do all 4 of them on one board? And he said, sure. And that's what he did. And this piece is great. I mean, I told him, I said, Joe, you're going to end up doing 50 of these after everybody sees this one. I don't know if he has, but I thought for sure it was going to be something that people were going to go crazy over and want to replicate. Who knows? Joe might have made prints out of it for all I know. I haven't seen them since the pandemic started. So, but yeah, this is a great piece.
Oh, those turned out great. So, with the mystery envelopes, was that something you did on your own, as far as coming up with the idea to help sell them when they didn't sell from the show? Was that kind of the start of 4C? I mean, that's pre 4C, or is that when you started it?
Yeah. The mystery envelopes was a whole different thing I was trying to do. Like I said, I did the one with Joe Rubenstein. After I did the ones with Joe Rubenstein, I tried to do others, and I couldn't get any creators to want to do it. And it was because it's kind of a weird thing. You got to have original art. You've got to have enough to kind of move, and I'm very conscious of price points and things like that. I didn't want to offer up I don't want to sell an envelope for $500. I wanted it to be affordable for people so that they could get it. So it kind of just died on me at that point. And, but then the way 4Cs came about was Larry Stroman. He has a bit of reputation for not delivering on art. And I saw somebody when I was up in New Jersey at the same time when I was with Anthony. Somebody had posted that they went to Larry's house and picked up art. So I reached out to Larry and I said, would you draw something for me if I came and picked it up? And he said, sure. So I gave him a list of like 5 things that I would like. Well, he did them all. He did all 5. So I drove up to get them. And when I went there, he asked me if I could drive him to the store. And I was like, okay, that's kind of weird, but no big deal. I don't mind. So I drove him to the store, and then I drove him to the bank, and then and in the conversation, I realized that part of Larry's problem is he can't get around. The reason why he doesn't ship is because he can't get to the UPS store. He can't get to the post office. So when I was driving home, sitting on the Bell Parkway in traffic, I just came up with the idea of, maybe I should just offer to, if he sends me if I can get the art from him, I can pick it up and I can go ship it out for him. And that's kind of how the 4C thing started out. So I've done it. I've done my best to try to fix Larry's situation. I think I did a pretty good job. Of course, there are people out there who he still owes art to, but I probably satisfied at least 60 or 70 owed art pieces. Because the thing was, he had it. It wasn't like he was selling it and then
not doing it right, or right,
and putting it to the side, and he wouldn't write the person's name on it. So after 2 weeks, he would forget who bought it, and then he didn't want to do the research to figure out who did it, so he would just put it to the side. So he had all the artwork. And a few months ago, he sent me a 25-pound package full of artwork, and it took me a good 2 weeks to sort it out. I did my best to find out whose art belonged to who. I sent a lot of messages. I did a lot of research, and that's basically how 4C was born, by doing that with Larry. And I still work with Larry. Larry's a great guy. He's got great stories, and he still owes art to people, but we've done a pretty good job satisfying a lot of that. And he knows it too, and he wants to satisfy it. He's definitely he's not looking to take anybody's money. He wants to do the right thing.
Sure.
He's an artist. He's not he's not a businessman. He's an artist. And so that's where I come in and try to help him out.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's why. I mean, reps play a super important role. I mean, I know, in the hobby for, we want the artists to be making art. I don't want them shipping art. I don't want them worried about packing art. Yep. I just want them making art. And so, unless they're really got a significant other in the home that can help them with those sorts of things, I mean, reps are invaluable.
Yeah. So. I mean, some people don't like reps because, they think we're upcharging a lot or making a lot of money on the side. It's like, well, then you can go to the artist and take your chances, or you can go through me and know you're going to get your piece. It's what's it worth to you? Yeah.
Right.
So
no, I mean, that's Heritage charges 20%. I mean, if that's what a rep charges, more power to them, right? Because that's fair.
Yeah, exactly.
And Jeff mentioned that you're doing great work, and he hopes that Larry gets his as well. So Jeff is a regular in our chat here.
We're working on it. He's coming down to MegaCon. I'm hoping to try to get him to do some more stuff, commissions that he owes and stuff like when I have him face to face. So hopefully that works out.
And maybe you may or may not want to answer the Ruben's question where he said, "Why can't Larry get around?" Just doesn't.
He doesn't drive. He doesn't have a car. He doesn't drive. So it's not easy for him to get, living in the city. It's not easy where he lives. He doesn't live in the city. He lives in the suburbs of the city. So it's not like there's mass transportation or things to get him to places. If he wants to go to the post office, it's a 3-mile walk. And for him to carry, he does everything 11 by 17. For Larry to carry 11 by 17s for 3 or 4 miles, it's probably not the smartest thing for him to do. So, that's basically how it goes with him.
Sure. Well, there's always an explanation. I mean, I know that Larry had he had run into a bit of trouble, but I know that in the last 6 to 8 months, I didn't know it was because of you, that he was correcting a lot of those problems that he had gotten himself into. So it happens, but it's good that you're there to help him out.
Yeah, and he's helping me too. I mean, I wouldn't be doing the 4C thing if it wasn't for Larry.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a founding father. I tell him that all the time. It's funny because after I do a show, he usually calls me the next day and he kind of tells me what he thinks of it. Well, Ken, didn't do this or didn't do this. He likes to tell me so, and I like to listen because he's got, like I said, he's got a lot of stories and he tells a lot of great stories. I love to have him on the show too. He tells it like it is.
All right. Well, you should do not only just the claims shows, but you should wedge in a creator chat once a month or every other week, something like that.
Yeah, I'm already working on more content. Because that'll help build a YouTube channel too. So we're going to start rolling out some new content in the next few weeks. Different kind of shows, not the claim shows. We're going to do, we might do a game show. We might do. We don't want to do like you have your shows where you do discussions. I don't want to do the same kind of thing. I want to do a different kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. No.
To be more of a unique thing. So we're working on that kind of stuff. You're going to definitely see more content on the 4C network.
That's what you got to do. Yep. That's and always keep changing. Don't sit on your I think that's what I found. But consistency is what helps on YouTube. If you can, if you can have like 2 or 3 regular shows, it'll still take some time to hit that 1,000 level, subscriber mark. I mean, it took us about, a little over a year, but still, once you get there, then that really opens up a lot of opportunity. YouTube shows your videos to more people. Right. I think I'm going to get to, the next 1,000 in a couple more months. And that was only about 4 months ago when we hit the first. So it cuts the time in half. They just know you're legit, that you have some staying power. And so they will push you out as recommended videos more often after you hit that plateau.
Yeah, great. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. That's
cool. Well, we welcome any new stuff like this from the comic art world into any live platform.
For sure.
All right, let's see. Oh, here we go. This is a cool one.
Ken Lashley, I set this up with Ken last year. It was actually last year was my wife and I's 25th wedding anniversary. So she asked me what I wanted. I said I want a commission, and she said okay. So I contacted Ken, and I told him I wanted to do a 181 recreation. So yeah, he knocked this one out of the park for me. He went a little extra on it. Because I was a sports guy. Ken is actually a sports fan. I was able to get him a signed jersey from Ricky Williams. He's a big Saints fan.
Mm-hmm.
A buddy of mine was doing a signing with Ricky, so I got a jersey signed for him. And I sent it to him. So I think he kind of went a little overboard hooking this thing up, making it more cover quality than what I actually paid for. But yeah, it's a beautiful piece. I actually just hung it up a few days ago. I was glad to get it up on the wall. I just, Wolverine and the Hulk are probably two of my favorite characters. So this is I would do 50 of these covers if I could, all different iterations.
Well, no, that one came out really, really nice. And I actually had, Maureen and I had our 26th wedding anniversary, so I think we're on the same schedule there.
Yeah, we just had our 26th in May.
There, yeah, that's mine. Mine was in January.
Oh, okay. I think Anthony, him and his wife, they got married like 2 weeks before I did, because he just celebrated his 26th in May too. He was talking about it on Dueling Dealers one night.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, and I was like, oh yeah, my anniversary is 2 weeks after his. So that's funny.
Yes, well, everybody's saying that they wish their wives would get them anniversary, similar gifts.
Well, yeah, she's not a big fan of most of this stuff, so it was, but she knew it was something that would be important to me, so she was okay with that one.
Well, not bad. I think Maureen once waited in line and got me an Adam Hughes sketch. That was the one and only time she's helped me get a piece of original art.
Well, my wife will do that. She'll go to the shows and she'll wait online and do all that stuff for me. My kids do it. I had my daughter, Rob Liefeld, was at MegaCon a couple years ago, and I had my daughter wait online for him. And she was up there, she thought she was going to be in line for maybe an hour, and then of course he was late, and then this happens and this happens. She was online for like 3 or 4 hours, and she still yells at me about that.
Well, every time she needs something, she reminds you of that time she waited in line.
or Deadpool comes on, she's like, "Oh, that's that Liefeld guy, isn't it?"
You'll never put her in his line again.
No.
All right, now here's another cover.
Yes. Again, from Anthony. I said before, I'm a huge Iceman fan, and Salvador LaRocca did this cover, and I bought it just because it was Iceman, and having an Iceman cover. I mean, I don't think I'll ever own one of the Zek ones from the limited series unless I hit the lottery. It's probably the closest I'll ever get to having an Iceman on a cover. So yeah, I mean, it's a great piece. It's light. The pencils are light. I do have it displayed, but kind of hard to see. The scan is a little better than that. But yeah, it's a great piece.
I like Salvador's approach to his work.
Yeah.
So, nice pencil piece is really good to have.
Yeah. Yeah, I like pencils probably more than anything because I don't know. You can get depending on if they're tight pencils, of course. I definitely like that over any other form of art.
Very, very cool. And speaking of Iceman, here is another one.
Yeah, this was a piece that was on Romita Man's site for years, and I would look at it all the time. And again, it was one of those pieces that I thought I would never own because it was pricey. This is merchandising art from back in when the Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends show was on. But because of the deals that I made, and I was able to move some pieces and sell some pieces, and I was finally able to pick this up. It's nice. It's 11 by 17. Of course, my wife ruined it. She goes, "Look where his hands are. He would drop that ball if he's not really holding it." But yeah, I mean, it's definitely this is definitely one of those pieces I would never ever get rid of. Having a John Romita piece and being my all-time favorite character. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. I don't have a lot of Iceman art, and it's because I'm picky about who I want to see draw it. I have some ideas of people I want to see do things, and I just have to get it done. But I don't have a whole lot of Iceman in my collection. I definitely have a lot more Hulks and Wolverines and things than I do of him. And it's like I said, because I'm picky about it. I just don't want anybody drawing them. I want to see the right representation.
Right. Well, I like this one a lot, even if that snowball would be going falling down behind him.
Yeah, but Wyatt just pointed out to me maybe 2 weeks ago. I'm like, really? I had this piece for like 6 months, and you're telling me? But it's fine.
Yeah, no. And I've seen this piece too. It's very nice.
Yeah.
So congratulations on that. I'm glad you worked something out with Mike.
It was one of those pieces that I always looked at on Mike's site, and I was always afraid one day I was going to go on there and it was going to say sold. And like I said, I finally got to a point where I was like, you know what, it's time to take it before someone else does. And somebody actually reached out to me after I bought it. I posted it on the Sketch Price group, and he said to me, I was about to buy that. And I was like, woof, I almost did lose it.
Right. No, it's no, you did well with that one, definitely.
Yeah, that's a good one. This is so I commissioned Ron Frenz. I got on Ron Frenz commission list through Catskill Comics, the wait list, and I was on it for the longest time. And originally, I was going to get a Spider-Man piece or something like that. And then I was looking around, and I was looking at the covers he did, and he did the X Factor cover with the first appearance Apocalypse, X Factor 7, I think it was. So I said, I'm going to get a recreation of that. So that's what I told when my name finally came up as on the commission list. That's what I told Catskill I wanted. I said, I want a recreation of that. And then it just dawned on me. I was like, you know what? Let's do something a little different. So I told him, I said, can we do that cover, but Magneto and the original X-Men, and make it look like an X-Men 1 cover? And he emailed me back. He said Ron loves the idea. So Ron Franz did it, and I'm debating whether I want to. Joe Rubenstein did the original ink, so I might have Joe Rubenstein ink version of it at MegaCon. But yeah, I mean, it came out better than I can imagine. He literally he made the X Factor 7 into an X-Men 1 cover. It's just fantastic.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely beautiful. I love Frenz's work a lot. Yeah.
There's another one for somebody in Marvel to say, hey, can we make that into a cover? Yeah, absolutely. Go right ahead.
Yes, and Ron mentions make sure you light box it or do a blue line, something.
Yeah,
to keep his pencils. Yeah,
for sure. I reached out to Joe about it, and Joe wanted me to send me the piece. I said, "There's no way I'm ever sending this piece in the mail. It's not going to happen."
No, that would be one you'd want to keep the original pencils for sure.
Yeah,
and Catskill will have a new website. I hope it is live on Monday.
Oh yeah,
everybody. Yeah, it's we got a little delayed when I was on my trip, and Maureen doesn't get back till Thursday, so we've got a couple small tweaks to do on his programming, and then Scott's website will be out there for everyone. It's such an easier site to get around now, and it's got a few like bells and whistles that we put into it that are different from other dealer sites, so it's pretty cool. I know Scott's excited to get it out there, and Monday should be the day.
Cool. Yeah, I look forward to that. I like this. I like to go on their site and look at stuff.
Yeah, and he's already got new art posted to it too. Which,
good.
Seeing the Ron Friend stuff made me think of that. I was like, maybe I should buy something before this thing goes live.
Yeah, you get to see it right before.
I've been watching the posts for the last couple of days. He's been adding in some new artwork. So yeah, it's I should, but I shouldn't. I got to give everybody else a fair shot before without taking advantage. All right, well, let's talk about another piece that's on the back wall, and we mentioned it a little bit earlier.
Yeah, a guy that I had did a couple of trades with. He reached out to me a few months ago and said, "You're interested in some art?" And I said, "What do you got to show me?" And this was one of the pieces he showed me, and I was like, "Oh my God, he's going to want a fortune for this," but he didn't. He made me an offer I couldn't refuse. So I sold my other Tex Era piece that I had, Ghost Rider piece, which was, like I said, was just a penciled a torso piece. And it got me almost enough money to get this piece. So I just had to throw in a little bit. And yeah, it's painted. It's fantastic. It's really, really cool to see. I just love it so much. Tex Era was the first artist that I actually started buying books because he drew it. When I was younger. Before that, I read the comic because of the characters. He was the first artist that I collected his art in a comic book. So that was my first when I fell in love with the art of comics was because of him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I've always really, really liked Mark's work, and this is a beauty. And you're right; it should be a cover. It's nice. Yeah. Everybody's in agreement on that. But it's on your wall, as we can all see.
On my wall right behind me, yeah.
All right, so we've got 3 more artworks here. Let me pull up another one. Mike Mayhew.
Yeah, I just got this piece not too long ago. Somebody was offered it up on Facebook, actually. So I reached out to him. I made him an offer, and he took it. And it's a great piece. Again, tight pencil work. I mean, it's really a beauty. The way that it's drawn. It came with the prelim too, which was pretty cool because the prelim's not much different, just smaller.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just I just love tight pencil work like that. I really do. I mean, there's nothing like it. So anybody who draws like that, I get all excited about. I have another piece coming from Berkey. I just got. It's a cover to a Battlestar Galactica, Death of Apollo, painted cover from Mayhew, but I didn't get it yet.
No, it's Mayhew can do no wrong. He's a really nice guy. I mean, I've had him on this show for an interview, and we've chatted numerous times at cons. I mean, he's a great artist, and I love his style. I love his pencil pieces as much as I love his painted artwork.
Yeah. I would love to maybe get maybe a vision to go with it at some point.
Now, is this a deal or no deal piece? Somebody was asking. Tim was asking, or was this just offered up on a sketch site?
No, somebody posted it on Facebook for sale, and I think
in a sketch group or just
in a sketch group. Yeah, and I think I was maybe one of the first people to see it, so I jumped around it and made him an offer, and he took it. So it wasn't up there long. I jumped all over it when I saw it.
Hey, I don't blame you. That was a good one. But yeah, I know that there's a couple like the deal or no deal sites. There are Facebook groups that are out there now. So everybody's trying something, whether or not it sticks or whatnot. It's better to see everybody trying to get creative and move things along here while we're all waiting for the shows to come back.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is a very nice Perkins piece.
Yeah, literally just got this maybe a month ago. Again, it was a guy I've actually dealt with. I've done trades with and bought things from before, and he posted this that he had gotten it, and I said to him, "Is that for sale?" And he said, "No." I said, "Well, when it is, let me know." And it was probably about 2 weeks later. He said, "Okay, you want to buy it?" so I grabbed this. I also got a Mysterio too. I'd like to get the whole Sinister Six by Perkins, but I heard he moved back to London. So
that is true.
So it might not be as easy now because he used to live right here in Central Florida. I used to see him all the time. So I thought it was going to be kind of an easy thing. I was going to be able to get done, but now he's back in London. It might not be so easy to do. So I might just have to settle for my Mysterio and Electro. But this piece it's really great. Perkins, I think, is a guy who's probably not on a lot of people's radar, and he should be. Because this is just phenomenal.
No, I love that one. I like Perkins' work a lot. We had him on Comic Art Live as well, and Nick Perucci loves Perkins as well.
Yeah. I wish he had moved back to London. But I tried to get more of those pieces from him.
Well, I'm sure it can be worked out.
I reached out to him on his Big Cartel about a month ago. He never responded because he actually had a Green Goblin and Scorpion up there, but they were sold. So he must have actually did a Sinister Six kind of run with those pitches. So I was just too late to the party on that one.
Well, I mean, Ruben's he was here earlier, and his rep, you might be able to work through Ruben.
I talked to Ruben about it. He's the one who told me about moving to London.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
And maybe not if Ruben doesn't give you the thumbs up.
Yeah, Ruben was well, it might be tough. Yeah.
Well, you could be at the top of the list if he ever has time. I mean, he did a few. I think during Comic Art Live, he did like a dozen or maybe 16 like head sketches, kind of similar to that with different characters. So maybe Ruben can nudge him in the same direction for the next show. Do a few that you might want to pick up. Yeah,
I just hope he, now that he's in London, I hope he's not going to forget about the States when the cons open up. I don't know. It might not be as easy for him to get over here to do that stuff.
No, probably not.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here is one final piece, and it's a doozy, as Mike would say. Yeah,
I got this last week. Somebody had posted this is the prelim actually to the cover for Pittsburgh Comic-Con in 2003 or something like that. Somebody had posted the cover, the actual printed cover, and offered up for sale. But then I think he put it up for auction and it went for like $11,000. And then I was just knocking around on Albert Moy's site about a week and a half ago, and I saw this up there, the prelim, and there's not a lot of difference the only difference that I could find between the prelim and the actual printed piece was the prelim's a little small. It's on 11 by 17, but the image size is a little smaller. And honestly, the pencil pieces on the side here, the Punisher and Vampirella, are actually more detailed than the finished piece.
Right. When I first saw this, I thought it was the published piece because I went to Pittsburgh that year, so I remember this image very well. And when I saw it, you sent me the scans, I thought, oh wow, you got that. And then when I read the description of the artwork, I realized it wasn't. But no, it's beautiful.
Yeah, and I think the published piece is done in acrylics. This was done in like I don't know if it's colored pencil or marker or something like that. But it's it's not acrylic paint. I think the original was done in acrylic paint.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's phenomenal. And the autograph that's on there, if you can find the original piece, the autograph on there is fantastic compared to what's on the original piece. It's probably one of the best Mark Texeira autographs I've ever seen, honestly. And he wrote it in like a gold paint pen, which is pretty cool too. But I've had this piece like a week. So when you sent me the email about art to show, I literally just scanned this and emailed it to you. I had just gotten it. But yeah, it's a great piece. And I like I said, I'm such a big fan of his art. So to have a representation of all these characters on there, especially SpongeBob.
Right. You're not going to get Mark to do too many SpongeBobs. I don't think.
No.
But yeah, all the other, it's just great. I remember when I first saw this was, I wasn't really familiar with Mark's work when I went to that con, and I was, blown away. I was really happy to see it. So, and then very happy to see this in your collection too.
Yeah, I got to try to find a copy of that convention book on eBay.
Yeah, I saved so many. I'll dig around. I've got to clean up my office, so I'll see if I have one because
you'll be moving, so you'll be.
That is true too. And if I am moving anytime soon. But no, knowing me, I'm going to probably end up having this house at least for, even if I were to buy that other one, I'll probably be here at least for another 9 months or so. I still have so many things that I got to fix here before I can sell this house. But yeah, but no, I'll look for it. If I have it, I would be happy to send it to you because
cool.
I probably did save it. I just have to, to go through a very tightly packed closet of things. But yeah, no, that'd be great. So listen, you gotta get me that announcement.
I will.
And yeah, because maybe I'll even put together like a little something that I can show on my show on Friday.
Okay.
But I think it's great. I mean, anything you're doing, you got to write. You definitely need to, it's nice having Facebook to kind of push announcements out, but definitely utilize me. Not enough people do for this kind of stuff. So
Okay. Yeah,
I would be really happy to do it. And as you're trying to build up the YouTube channel, just shoot me any line, any information when you're doing something special.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I definitely will. I appreciate that.
Very, very good. Well, I mean, we wrapped up a little earlier, tonight. Let's see, anything else you wanted to share, Ken, as far as anything coming up with 4C other than MegaCon that you got planned for the rest of the year?
We have the SketchCon on Sunday.
Yeah.
So that'll start at noon with, like I said, Ariel Diaz, Larry will be there, David Williams, Alex Rigel, Javier Vila, Craig Young. I don't think I'm missing anybody. Like I said, they're going to go all day. At MegaCon, we're actually going to do something kind of interesting. We're also going to do, depending on whether we have the Wi-Fi or not, we're going to do virtual commission offerings with David Williams. Doesn't really like to travel much.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to set up my computer, and I'm going to have him on StreamYard. And if somebody wants to get a sketch, he's going to sketch for him live via the internet. So that should be an interesting thing. I talked to people at MegaCon about it. They thought it was a great idea. So virtual commission list at MegaCon. So
nothing wrong with that. You may have to pay for the internet. For the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But really depends on whether I can get a connection or not. But that's the plan. So that'll be something interesting that we do.
No, it's definitely worth a try. I mean, early days of San Diego when I was going there in the early 2000s, I always tried to do some streaming for CAF there, and it was tough in that hall. But obviously times have changed. So your 5G might do better than getting on the internet that they provide.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? So yeah, just use my phone or something like that.
And you only have about a 10-minute drive probably to get over to
probably about
the convention center.
Yeah. I don't have to get myself a room.
No.
And I told all the guys, I'm like, you can ship me all your stuff. You don't have to get on a plane with your portfolios. Just ship it all to me. I'll bring it with me.
Right. Man, that's so convenient. That's what when I was talking with Maureen about where I wanted to be. I want to be closer because I know any business that I have to do when I'm in Florida will be centered around, Orlando and probably Tampa, not Gainesville. So I've been trying to get her, but yeah, she's just too adamant about wanting to be further from Orlando, unfortunately. Because I told her I'm going to Universal at least once a month. So
yeah,
if I have to stay at the hotel because I don't want to drive back home, you're going to have to put up with that.
Because it's probably an hour and a half. It's not too bad.
Yeah, I think well, you know what? When in Zillow, what I plugged in there as the nearest destination that I want to drive to, it's Universal Studios. I didn't put in Orlando. I just said I want to get to Universal Studios. So yeah.
We had season tickets before the pandemic, so we used to go there a lot too.
Yeah. Yes, and Ruben says he missed the Electro talk, but yes, we got the skinny. Ruben, you're the one that let him know that he may not ever get the Sinister Six put together.
Yeah, I bugged Ruben about it. But we'll see. Maybe someday.
Yep. All right. Well, I'm gonna call it a wrap. This was a lot of fun, Ken. I mean, the thing is, like I said, I know you've only been on CAF for a couple of years, so I'd seen your collection, when you first started posting a bit to it. But it's always nice to meet somebody who's semi-new to the hobby and doing all these great things and cool things that I'm sure many people that were watching the show tonight, weren't aware of. So, I don't know, very cool. So I'm glad that we got a chance to talk, and I'm looking for, get me that announcement by Thursday at the latest.
Yeah, I'll get it for you, guaranteed.
All right, very good. Well, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll have Dueling Dealers tomorrow. And just so everybody knows, with the Dueling Dealers show on the 14th, we are going to be supporting Felix's the Lou Family Fund charity. So any super chats or super stickers that are bought that evening are going to go 100% to Felix's his fundraising efforts. And Mike and Anthony, one of their rounds pieces will be 100% donated as well to Felix's charities. So, it's something that we had been talking about for a while, and Felix was happy to allow us to do it for him, and so we'll be doing that. And I should let you know, I talked with Nick Barucci today, and I will be on Nick's show on the EXP on July 16th from 7 to 8 p.m. helping himself some artwork. So that should be something else everybody should be tuning into. Will Felix show up? Yes, Marcus. Felix will be there right at the beginning of the show just to give a little talk about what his what the charity does, and he wanted to thank Mike and Anthony personally for doing that. So yeah, Felix will pop in for about 3 or 4 minutes before we start the show.
Excellent.
All right. So again, thank you, Ken. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and I'll see everybody soon. And Ken, looking forward to meeting you one day.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully, MegCon.
Absolutely. No, it will be a MegaCon.